Have you ever considered that in order to be an impactful, effective leader, you need to do more than just give orders? What about creating a loyal followership with your teams? Today, my guest, Lillie Chambers, and I going to dive deep into this topic, so don't go anywhere. Welcome to Leading Intentionally, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of leadership transformation. I am Carmen Paredes, your guide in this journey, and I'm so thrilled to have you with us today. In each episode, we share strategies, insights, and stories to help you drive growth, enhance workplace culture, and lead with intentionality. Whether you are a seasoned executive, an aspired leader, or just someone passionate about positivity in the workplace, this podcast is for you. Each week, I'll bring you conversations with thought leaders, experts, and trailblazers that will share with you their insights, wisdom, and experiences so that you can apply these practical tips to your leadership journey. Get ready to explore topics like inclusive leadership, women's empowerment, effective communication, and so much more. If you're ready to lead intentionally and make lasting impact in your organization, you are in the right place. Let's embark in this transformative leadership journey together. This is Leading Intentionally. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Leading Intentionally. Today, I have our first United States Army person in the show. Thank you for your service. Her name is Lillie Chambers, and she's been wearing the uniform for more than 22 years. She was a senior enlisted leader for the Logistics Directorate while working for the Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa in 2021 and 22, and still proudly wears the uniform as an E8. She's passionate about helping women and leaders find their voice, empowering them to lean in and let go of what's holding them back so they can truly experience the success they deserve, so they can thrive in their workplace. Lillie is the creator of the More Jesus, Less Sugar podcast. I love that name. Where her and other two women discuss faith, health, and leadership in everyday life. Her and her husband Tyson have been married for 20 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
To which they have three amazing kids, Betty, Bella, and Tucker. They support the Team Jack Foundation and their community by owning and operating a food bank and hosting an annual toy and clothes drive for those in need. Thank you and welcome to the show, Lillie. So incredible to have you here and overcoming all the technical difficulties that we had before coming and record today.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
So I was so intrigued when I saw that topic because it's true, right? Like many leaders think like, I'm just have the power. And coming from the military, I'm sure you see that all the time, right? I have the
Yes.
stick, so I am going to make you do all the things.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't work because people might do the minimum to not get fired or not get beat up or not get kicked out of the military, right?
Yeah.
But they never go the extra mile. They never give their all unless they become your followers.
Yes.
So I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your story. How did you
Okay.
decided to like get inspired to share this? And yeah, tell us all about that because it's amazing.
Okay. Well, I just think, back from the beginning of when I first enlisted, right? You just grow up through the ranks. I was first a private. I started down at the bottom, an E1. Okay. And then I worked my way up to an E2, an E3, an E4, an E5, and on the way up. And as I thought about my career, I thought about when I was told to do something as an E1, E2, E3, I never questioned it. I never said, well, why? Why am I doing that? Or why? Why do I need to do that? I
Mhm.
never, I never once questioned that because I trusted my leaders. I trusted that person, my squad leader, telling me, giving me that order to do that. And when I reflected on that, that was so important for that squad leader, for my leader to build that rapport with me, to build that trust with me. And isn't that so important to have that in that work environment? No matter if you're in the military or not, no matter if you're working at Casey's convenience store, or if you're working at Walmart, or if you're a teacher, doctor, lawyer, whatever, no matter where you're working, you have to have that relationship between the boss and the worker, right? Your teammate. Because if you don't have that trust, then if you are that leader and if you don't have that followership connection, then are you really a leader? Are
Yeah,
you
you're a
really?
boss. You're a boss, right?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. I love that you're making that distinction, and I can think in my own career of many times where I had a vision to do something that never has been done in corporate America,
Hmm.
and I'll go to my team and say, "Okay, we're gonna do this," and they might be
Yeah.
like, well, we don't know how we're gonna do it," and I'm like, "We'll figure it out together,"
Yes. Yeah.
and they
And you,
did, right?
yes, and you got the buy-in,
Mhm.
right? And that's what you did. You created that spark and they were your flame, right?
Mhm.
You are the one that brought that passion. You were the one that brought that idea, but they're the ones that brought it to life. And
Mhm.
why?
I have
Because you,
goosebumps everywhere. I have
yeah,
goosebumps. Thank you.
because you created the
Mhm.
followership, right?
Mhm.
You cultivated that type of environment within your team, within your workplace, within that environment in order to make that happen. But also often it's it's not there. It's not there in corporate America.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
just isn't. And why? Because that leader has so much on their plate and they're just trying to make it happen.
Mhm.
They have numbers to meet, they have deadlines to make, and they just need to get it done. And they don't think they have the time to stop and reflect and stop and strategically plan or stop to really truly lean on their team or work with their team or get to know their team
Mhm.
to really get to know, hey Sally, how are you today?
Mhm.
How's life going? Are you doing okay? You seem a little off. Let's go for a coffee today.
Yeah.
There's not time for that right now. I need this to happen and I need that to happen. That needed to be done yesterday. That type of stuff is happening right now because they don't see the fruit of truly taking the time to get to know their team and to cultivate
Yeah.
that followership they don't see the fruit of that, and that's sad.
It is that, and it's very interesting. First, you're speaking my language here, and I was in the position where anyone below me, and I made it all the way to the top level of my career as a vice president, only Latina vice president in the company, and
Awesome.
so anyone underneath me, which was a considerable amount of people,
Hmm.
were getting the treatment that we're talking about. They
Hmm.
follow because I was being a leader. However, from me up, I wasn't
Hmm.
getting any of that. So here
Yes.
I was feeling, unvalued, underappreciated, like
Yes.
nobody cared, totally burning out, and
Yes.
definitely not having a leader
No.
because there was not time, as you said, to build, to just to care a little bit, to care a little.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And that, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up because leadership just doesn't end when you are the vice president, right?
Mhm.
Because just like you said, you need mentorship too. The VP needs mentorship. You need guidance,
Mhm.
and and not just because you're a woman, the men need it too,
Yeah.
like at no matter who you are, at the VP level or the president level, right? Like they are seeking out mentorship and guidance as well. And if you think they're not, you're wrong. Like at every level, no matter if you are at the very bottom or the very tip top, everybody should be seeking that guidance and mentorship, and they should be getting it.
Yeah.
And I just think that's where that vicious cycle, that burnout cycle, you truly are setting the stage for the burnout, that vicious cycle of burnout, if you are not taking that time to build that followership. And the reason why I say that is just because if we truly think about it, let's say I'm Sally and I just got this brand new job and I'm super excited. It's an entry-level job and I'm just coming in and I just get trained and I'm working on the computer and I'm getting trained and an error pops up, like let's say while I'm getting trained. And my trainer is just like, oh, I always just click through that. It just click through. It's fine. Just go, go, go. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. And then bam, I'm on the floor and here I am. I'm clicking through and that error again pops up, but I just click through because that's what I'm trained to do. Okay. Not a problem. 3 months go by and I'm okay. And I'm popping along and I'm just I'm just knocking stuff out and I'm just, doing my thing. But then another 3 months goes along and I'm trucking along, but nobody has taken the time to truly mentor me, to tell me about the bigger mission here or the strategic level goal of the organization. But I know I matter, I'm making friends, Johnny to the left of me and Susie Q to the right of me. Like, hey, I got my friends here, but I'm just entering the data and I'm just coming to work. Basically, I'm just plugging in. And then day after day, that's just happening. But now I really don't know why I'm entering the data. And I'm really just getting dumped on now because I'm good at entering the data, but I don't know why I'm entering the data. I don't know why I'm pushing the buttons. I don't know why I'm getting this report over to here.
Which means that you don't have any desire nor information to make the process better because you don't know what you're doing.
Because I don't know I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm entering the data, but I don't know why I'm entering the data. I don't know really what that data means to the bigger picture. And then because I'm good at entering the data, my team lead,
you get more data to enter.
Yes. My team lead thinks, oh my gosh, Sally's knocking it out of the park. So I'm just going to give her some more data to input. I'm going to give her 25% more to do because she can handle it. And Sally doesn't know any better. Sally just thinks, oh man, okay, I'll do it. Because I'm new here. I'm only 6 months in and I don't want to make waves and I need the job. So I'm going to say yes. And I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say yes. And I'm just going to type a little faster. And oh man, this sucks. But I'm not going to say it sucks. I'm going to grin and bear it. And here we are. We're setting the stage for burnout. And
totally. I've never seen it this way, but this is entertaining and true. Both.
Right? Like, seriously, this is how it goes. But then Sally's looking at Johnny, who's been there for 2 years. And Johnny, he's not getting extra work put on him. Now, is he? No. Because he doesn't care that I get the extra 25% because he doesn't want the extra work to begin with. And he knows how to just skate by. And he's
Bare
okay
minimum.
with
Bare minimum.
Yeah. And he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Because that's his personality.
And not even bare minimum. I'm sure you are aware of the statistics, but the recent statistics from McKinsey says that people are only productive 3 out of 8 hours a day.
Yes.
What are you doing the other 5?
surfing the web, right. Surfing the internet,
complaining about your bad boss.
Yes. And that just goes back to the followership. Like, if you don't if you're not creating that well followership team, if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that good relationship with your team, that team member, that Sally, Susie Q, and Joe Snuffy, I can't
Johnny,
remember what I named him.
Johnny,
Johnny. Oh,
Johnny.
Johnny. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Um, Johnny, they will not come to you as that leader to tell you
Mm-hmm.
the good, the bad, or the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are that good leader, they should be coming to you and be open and honest with you to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You
Yeah,
need you need your team to tell you those things so
yeah,
you as the leader can strategically look at the good, the bad, and ugly and figure out how to fix it
yeah,
and figure out how to amplify the good to make the profits go,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. You reminded me of a situation. I always created open door policy trust
Yes,
with my
always.
employees, right? And one
Yes.
time, as I had transitioned from role to role, and you know how it goes that you never really ever, when you're in the same company, you never ever leave your old role. You're still like there, right? And
Yeah.
they haven't hired a person to replace me, so I was kind of doing both things. And then eventually they hire someone, but I was still kind of doing it because I could do it better. And one
Mhm.
of my
Mhm.
employees that has had followed me from position to position to position came into they knocked the door. It's like, are you ready for some feedback? I'm like, always. He's like, so tell me, why are you really doing that? Because they cannot do it, or because you need to feel good about yourself? And I was like,
Oh.
very
Mm.
interesting. Hmm. And
Mhm.
he was right. He was right.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the work. It was all about me feeling needed, feeling,
Yeah. Yeah.
valuable. But that allowed me to dump that extra work. And
Yes.
I would never have if I didn't have created that relationship with my team where they felt like, I mean, he wasn't disrespectful or anything. He was just calling it as he was. Like,
Yes.
why are you really doing that?
Oh, good, Carmen.
Right?
Yes. And that is, man, that's a whole other topic that we could discuss for another hour, right? Is just that delegation of authority
Yeah.
is being comfortable enough to know that A, yes, you could do it better. Sure, sure. But is that the right thing to do?
Mhm.
No, it's not.
Well, it goes with
Because,
followership, because you cannot develop a followership if you can't want to do it all, right? Like, I always go back.
yes,
I was in a leadership training,
yes,
and they play us the video of John Kennedy when he was telling us we're gonna go to the moon, right?
yes.
And
Hmm.
I mean, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to build a rocket. I mean, go NASA, go
No,
figure out, right? But his enthusiasm. I mean, if you ever have never watched that speech, I mean, it's so inspirational because you're like, the guy has no idea we're gonna do this, but we're going to
no.
do it. And everyone is
Yes,
like, yeah, we're
yes,
going to the moon.
yes, yes. And that's, I mean, I like to, I mean, going from the moon, and now I'm going to sit here and talk about loading the dishwasher with my kids. So I can't really connect the two, but this is what I'm going to say is that I just remember of just delegating the dishwasher duties down to my kids, right? Of, hey, I need to be able to trust that my kids can load the dishwasher. A, because I should not be loading the dishwasher as a mother of three. They need to do some work around this dang house too, right? Like, come on. I cannot do it all. And they need to learn how to do this. Okay. I teach them. Here you go. This is how to load the dishwasher. Now my job here is done. Now you get to do it on Mondays, you do it on Tuesdays, you get to do it on Wednesdays, and we're done. Okay. And now I walk away. Do I really walk away though? Or then I found myself after Monday nights, Tucker Lee he would load the dishwasher. Then I'd be back in the kitchen. He'd be off to bed. I'd open up the dishwasher, I'd look at it, mm, not to my satisfaction. So what did I do? I
You
would read.
organize it.
Yes. Why? Why? I mean,
Ah,
seriously,
I know.
come on.
Please tell me the answer because I feel the same way.
Like, I don't know if it's just my type A personality or the
Oh,
military coming out in me or the mother coming out in me of, oh my gosh, this isn't done right. And I could fit more dishes in if I just did it this way
yeah.
or whatever it is. Right. But then as I grew as a leader or as a mother, or if I just realized, Lily, let it go,
Right.
like
Right.
truly let it go. It is okay. Truly. Like,
Yeah.
hey, and that's where that delegation, you need to learn to let that go. Like, because just as you said, you you're going to be replaced, and you
Mhm.
better be teaching and mentoring that
Mhm.
replacement of yours.
Mhm.
And that
Mhm.
is sad to say, but you are going to be replaced.
Oh,
And
it's so
so,
sad. One of the best advices I got early in my career, and why I was able to be promoted so quickly throughout my career, is because the bold, the bold version of myself, when I was,
mhm,
I don't know, early 30s probably. I catched the CEO of a company. I would used to work for Johnson and Johnson, so I catched the
okay,
CEO of Johnson and Johnson. I mean, this guy, normally in New Jersey, but he was in California visiting our little tiny, you know, office.
okay,
And I wanted to ask him, how do I make it to the top?
okay,
And he looks at me, he said, okay, one piece of advice I'm gonna give you is always have your replacement ready
mhm,
there.
yeah,
And that's what I did. That's what I did.
yes,
And then there was never
mhm,
an excuse why Carmen couldn't move to another position or be promoted or something, because the company wasn't going to suffer.
yes, yes,
And I wasn't going to have to carry the job either, except for that one time
yes,
that I told you. uh, but this comes with that, because when you're doing what we're talking about today, because when we're doing that, when you're not trying to compete, right? Because a lot comes from competition and from um fear of being replaced, as you're saying. It's like, well, I'm going to be
yep,
displaced, I'm not going to be important
mhm,
anymore, my value is going to be diminished,
yeah,
right? And
yep,
as you grow in your career, or I suppose the same in the military and as a business owner, as you expand and grow and get more experience, your value doesn't come in doing, your value comes in leading.
yes, yep,
Leading, not doing, right? That's that. The people, your followership is the one who's going to be doing it way better than you at that point,
yes,
but you're going to give them the
yes,
direction and the vision and the
yes,
inspiration to do it.
yes, yep. And I always like you, I always had the open door policy, right? And then after, so after we did a mission or after we did um, just anything over a drill weekend, let's say, if we had something to do, then I would pull my team in after we got it done. And we what we do in the Army is what we call it an after action review, an
Mhm,
AAR.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And what was supposed to happen, what did happen, then three things that what went right, what went wrong, and then how do we fix what went wrong, right? And the hardest thing to do as a leader in that and during those AARs is you're not supposed to say anything. You're not supposed to say, well, no, now, well, it was supposed to do this, or oh no, and you're not supposed to zip it, and just take the beating, right? Just take it. And so um I loved I love the AARs. Why? Because every team member is in the room, and every team member gets a voice. They gets a voice. Oh my goodness. They have a voice, and they can say whatever they want to say. And then you get to learn from them. And hey, how do we fix that problem then? And so the private, the E1, the E2, who is so technical savvy, who can,
Mhm.
I mean, knows computers inside and out way more than me, can be like, well, I can build a program for that. Oh, really? Okay, perfect. Then please do,
Yeah, yeah.
and they can do that. Or
Mhm.
then we have a construction worker who, oh, I can build a shelf that can house this, and this. Oh, that would be amazing. Can you please do that? Yeah, I can do that. Awesome. That would fix that. Okay, great. I mean, you just learn so much from your team then by having them try to fix the problem, right? Rather than
Mhm.
you as the leader feeling as though you have to fix it all. And
Yeah,
because you don't, right?
yeah.
Because if you think you do, then you are going to be burnt out, right? That's just
Mhm.
another thing that adds to your plate that you think you have to fix, which you don't. That's why you have a team. You're in it together. And then they also, by doing it that way, you have buy-in because then they feel a part of the solution because they
Mhm.
are the solution.
Mhm. Now
Yeah.
there's the other extreme, which we don't want anyone to assume that we're telling you to swing the pendulum to the other side, because I've also seen people that claim to be leaders and do nothing, and that
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
create a fellowship either, right?
No,
You have to be
absolutely
in
not.
the thick, you need to be in the thick of it with them. I suppose in
Yes.
your, in your case is like so graphic, right? Because like you go to war with them. You're not like, okay, well, I'll see
Yeah.
you guys when you get back from deployment. Like,
No,
um,
no. And it's more of a servant leadership, right?
mhm, mhm,
Where we are rolling up our sleeves with them, right? Like we are getting dirty with them. Hey, we're showing them how to do this with them.
mhm,
Um, and I look at it as, or I feel as though I would never ask my soldiers to do something that I have not done already, or that something that I wouldn't do, right? And I think that's the way a leader should always be. And
absolutely.
also, servant leadership means to me is just the golden rule, right? You treat others the way that you want to be treated.
Yeah,
And I think that's just how the army works, or it should be working that way. Is um, we always should be placing our soldiers' needs above our own, right? And then if we do that, and if we do that well, and if we do that the right way, then the mission will take care of itself. The organization will take care of itself because we are taking care of our people. It's people first, as it
yeah,
should always be our people first.
yeah. That's our
Hmm.
biggest, better, most valuable asset in
Yes.
every part of society.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yes. So
Mhm.
Lily, I know you talk about this in, stages and conferences, and so without giving us all the recipe, would you be able to share some practical tips that someone that's listening to us, because obviously you and I got to figure out, it appears like, but if there's someone
Well, I don't
saying
know
like,
about that.
I know. um
Oh.
but if there is someone out there that's like, ooh, maybe I really need to look into transforming my leadership style, and even if it's
Mm.
to give it a try, like, where can they start?
If you truly want to transform your leadership style, I would say um, you would have to me, I'm not knowing where this person is coming from, but to me would be getting that feedback from your team.
Mhm,
And it's going to
mhm,
be harsh no
mhm.
matter what. And it's going to be hard to get that criticism possibly back, or that feedback back, but that would be key because you don't know where you're at. I mean, you could try to self-assess yourself, but that's not, no, because you're going to be biased without even, yes, and you're going to have your blinders on, right? You're going to be biased because you're going to think, oh, well, no, I'm not that bad and I'm not that harsh and oh, I'm not that. Nope. You need to send out that survey or you need to have that one-on-one with them if you feel comfortable enough with them and open enough with them. But
the question is, do they feel comfortable
they
enough
feel,
with
I was
you?
just going to say that. But if they are going to be open enough with you, but like back to my very first comment, I'm not for sure where this person's coming from. So if you have a way to send up a survey, an anonymous survey possibly would be best of, hey, I just need the honest feedback, a self-assessment of where am I at with my leadership skills, with my listening skills, my communication skills, all of it. And just that will give you a baseline to know, hey, where am I at? And what do I need to work on? And then you have to put in the work to be honest with yourself if you truly want to transform your leadership skills.
And let's remind everybody why this is important. We're talking about, like, the impact that having a followership and being a good leader, the impact that it has in any organization.
Yeah, just if you being a good leader, all that does is cultivate that environment within your organization to have that followership environment, so that way you can thrive in the workplace, right? So that way your employees are wanting to come to work and wanting to be there and not experiencing that burnout and not wanting to be surfing on their phones when they should be working, and not wanting to be looking for other jobs and leaving the door, walking out the door when they should be staying working for you. And that's another question to ask. Why should they stay to work for you? Why? Yeah. And if they can't answer that, that's another problem.
Yeah.
I think it's just really important not only to cultivate that followership, right? To have a leader. If no one's following you, are you a leader, right? Are you truly a leader? If you think about it that way. But then also, you as a team member, are you a good follower? Right? And when I say that, what I mean by that, are you bringing the good, the bad, the ugly up to your leader? Are you communicating directly to your leader how you should be? Or are you holding stuff back? Are you not telling all of the information as you should to your leader? Are you being a team player? Because if you're not, then you're not being a good follower.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
I was relating it to like a Swiftie, right? Because my daughter is such a Taylor Swift fan. Like, I mean, we flew across the country to go to the concert and we were in line at 10 in the morning and all the things. Oh my God. I love this conversation. Yes. I love this conversation. So Lillie, how can people connect with you or work with you and follow you?
Well, I'm pretty original. So it's lillie.chambers@gmail.com. I mean, like, that's how you can connect with me, but also More Jesus, Less Sugar on Facebook. And we also have the podcast, More Jesus, Less Sugar. But I do also do speaking engagements, like you said, and just connect with me and we can hopefully connect after that. So, yeah.
I love it. Well, we'll put all the links in the show notes, so it's an easy click for everybody. And I just want to say thank you again. So you guys know, until next time, lead intentionally. Bye-bye.